welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosie Henshaw. If you're new here, then welcome. It's lovely to meet you, and if you're already existing, then thank you for coming back. So grab yourselves a hot drink or a cold drink. Today mine's in my little Emma Bridgewater Roro mug. Thought it was quite in keeping with a Valentine's type video. It's got little hearts on it. So I've actually got cherry Pepsi in mine. I know what you was thinking. You was thinking she never has tea in her mug. She's always got Pepsi in there, which is terrible. But no, I haven't. I've got cherry Pepsi in there today, so it makes a little bit of a difference. So today we're making floral arrangements, so hat box floral arrangements. Now they are relatively easy and they're just really beautiful, and there's something that you would have to spend quite a bit of money if you went in a shop to buy them. Now I'm going to be doing an artificial arrangement and a realistic arrangement. So for my artificial arrangement, you're going to need a type of box. So I got this hat box, which I think is really lovely, for $2.99 from the Card Factory. Now places like that do gift boxes are perfect. But also I got these Christmassy ones for 25p from the Pound Shop in the 25p sale. You could use these as well. Also for your arrangement, you're going to need, now if you're doing a faux, where have I put that? I hope Bertie hasn't, oh it's there. So for your faux arrangement, in Home Bargains they sell these. Now this is the faux oasis. Now this is the dry oasis floral foam. So this is to go in the bottom, so this will be for all your artificial flowers, and there will be a green one that you can wet for your real flowers, and I've just cut it in half. It comes in a pack like this and it's green, and I've cut it in half just with a sharp knife. It cuts through really easy, as you can see. It's really like easy. And I've just put one, submerged it into water, so it goes a bit darker once it's wet. Submerged it into water, and I'm just going to do that with another one, so I'll show you. I filled a little shallow bowl out of water and just put it inside. And I like to turn it all on the sides so that you can see it's sort of submerging itself. This is a quick submersion. Now these are both 99p from Home Bargains, but you can pick these up from craft stores or other places. I've seen them in the range as well. They also do like the reef versions of these. So I'm just submerging these in water for my real version. For my fake versions, I picked up these. I thought these were really lovely. So in the range, I thought these are very Valentine's Day. Look how beautiful these red roses look. And you get a bunch for $4.99, which works out a lot better than buying the individual stems for like £1.79, I think they are. I also got some faux eucalyptus, £2. In Home Bargains, they had this bunch of red roses, a little bit more bright, a little less realistic looking, but for $1.99. So if you're going for like, perhaps a smaller box, they would look really, really cute. So got those. And for my real section, my real selection, I got these from Asda. Now I prefer buying flowers when they haven't opened yet, so they're quite closed, quite fresh, so they last longer. But I've had to buy ones that are fully open, just so you'll be able to see what they're going to look like in the hat box. So I got those roses, and I also got some Alstroemeria. I don't know. Alstroemeria. So Alstroemeria, £2, and they are just like, rather than adding foliage like baby's breath, I do like baby's breath, like it's gypsophilia, I think that's the real term, and I do like adding like greenery, but I just think sometimes when you add the greenery, which are the tiny little flowers, it costs the same amount as it would do buying the stems in Asda or another supermarket, and it just makes extra flowers once they do open, so I got those. So now that's soaked, I'm going to show you how I do my real arrangement. So I'm going to put that in front of me with the box, and I'm going to take the lid off. They do these in different sizes, but I thought, how lovely is this? It's very Valentine's with the like red roses. It's going to look really classy. And if you've done this with a faux arrangement, this would last all year round. Well, obviously forever, not just the year. So first off, I'm going to start off. Now, I've got some kitchen foil, and the reason I've got some kitchen foil is because I feel like, because this is cardboard, and you're putting like a wet oasis block into it, it will make the box go soggy and just fall apart. So I'm going to line mine with kitchen foil. Now, I don't have one available. Normally what I like to do these with is when I do these arrangements is my dishwasher bags. I tend to just put them in there to recycle them, give them an extra use, put my dishwasher bag, trim it to size, but my dishwasher tablets are full up, so I'm not going to use that. So I'm going to line it with some tin foil, just so the box don't get soggy, and I'm going to line it that way. Sorry, this is quite noisy. So it's lined. I haven't got to line it all the way to the top. It's only to a certain part where the oasis is going to come to. I'm also going to put a little bit that way, so it's higher up that part as well. So at the minute it's just higher up the sides. That's it. As you press it out to the sides, it will just look something like that. Just nothing special. And then I'm going to put my Oasis, which has been soaked in water. I'm just going to pop this in, and you might have to cut these to size, but I like to push them out and make sure that I get the most amount. I'm going to have to cut this into some strips, so literally it's just like cutting butter. Make sure it's all completely wet. Shove this down the side. I will show you what this is coming out like in a second. I'm making sure that the foil stays higher than the actual Oasis. How thick can I put that there? Not that thick. You'll gather sort of an idea. You'll get an idea for how much. I'm dropping my box now. How much you're going to need. It's a bit like a game of Tetris, but with Oasis squares. And I'm going to need a tiny sliver down in the corner. And if you get any areas which haven't got the dark green, where they've not got as wet, you can just wet them still in your little bowl. Right, so I'd say that isn't perfect, but it's filled up. The whole bottom square is filled up with Oasis. I'm just going to pop that to the side now. Put my box back here so we can stand it on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to add the flowers. So the flowers, we're going to have a rough measure up. So the flowers, I want them to sort of sit on the top. So we automatically know about here is where we're going to want to cut it. So what I'm going to do is, rather than actually getting them all out, I'll move this just like, be careful as well, because Rose is quite sharp. No pun there, not because of my name. And I'm just going to cut them out individually from this part here. So I'm going to cut one. I like to make sure that I get a lot of this sort of foliage off that's at the bottom, because it can go a bit mouldy at the bottom. So I'm going to remove a lot of this. Now this is kind of the height. I'm going to measure it out. Have a little look by pushing a bit in, seeing where it's coming to. A tiny bit more off, but that's good, because I like, if you cut your flowers at an angle, it allows them to have more water go into them, and then they just last longer. So I'm going to put a flower right in the middle, and I'm going to start my guide as to where I want the height to be. So also it might be a good idea to get a bit of kitchen towel, paper towel handy. So now we're at the box, you can see the top bit, what I'm doing. So now I'm going to cut another one. Another good idea as well, with plant food, if you get any plant food with your flowers, put that in with the water before you submerge the Oasis. That's always a good idea, but I'm going to give this a tiny little drop of water after. Probably not meant to, but I'm going to mix with the plant food. So take most of them off. If there's any little mouldy leaves. And I want these ones to be ever so slightly shorter than the ones that's in the middle. So I'm going to be working my way round, making sure to space them nicely, and to make sure that they're ever so slightly shorter than the one that's in the middle, so the central one. And I'm going to do this the whole way round. Now if you cut it too short, it's not a problem, because that Oasis is quite thick in the bottom, and what you can do is just not push it down as far. So it's easy to not get this wrong, really. Push this lower. Like this one's been pushed a bit short, but I just can pull it up a little bit, and that's fine. And you just go all the way round, doing the same thing with these. Oh, them thorns are sharp. Doing the same thing and cutting them on an angle. Little Bertie's having a little nap. And just making sure that I go round. So I'm going to have one right in the centre, and then I'm going to have 4 like a squared round it. So each corner round that one. Oh, you're a little sharp bugger. Let's go round. So I don't know if everyone celebrates Valentine's Day or not, but these are really good, even at Easter, like Easter time. I'm known for doing like ones for Easter flowers, like tulips and different style ones. So then we've got our 4. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one in the centre. Now I'm going to build it slightly lower again. So now I'm going to get some more roses, and cut them on an angle. and I've got one in the middle and 4 either side, like on the corners. Now, where the 2 meet, they're on the corners, if this makes sense, like so. I've got one in the middle, and then 2 either side. That will be like that all the way around. I'm going to put this, so this fits in between the 2, but slightly lower. So this is going to start to cascade downwards. You'll know what I mean as I'm going along. It will become more clear what I'm saying, because I'm no good at teaching this stuff. I'm more like I just do this stuff and I don't really teach it very well. So there's no gap there. So now there's a gap there between them 2. So it doesn't look like it while I'm doing this, but there is. You'll be able to see it, especially at the base of your oasis. So what it will look like is you'll have, it's not too low. And then this is so therapeutic. I think working with real flowers, I absolutely love having real flowers around the house any time of the year. Absolutely love it. And I just think it looks so pretty. And these hat boxes you can reuse and reuse time and time again, and just buy some new flowers. So what virtually could be a cheap £4 box of flowers or £2.50 like bunch of flowers from a garage or a supermarket, you can make them look expensive, because all the pieces that we're going to add to this, like ribbon or any extras that you add to this, they're all things that can be reused next time when you do it. And if you want to change it up every time you do it, you put them in a box and save it for another time. You haven't got to reuse them all at the same time. Right. Needs to be a bit shorter. So now I feel like we're getting loads of roses in there. And we've got one in the middle, 1, 2, oh, I need one more there. Look, there's quite an evident gap. So you can see that gap there where there's something missing, but they all go round. You start to see the gaps. So I'm just gonna fill that gap in. And then there's no gaps, and they all start to get slightly smaller as they go out towards the edge. You can adjust these to make them look really neat. And now what I'm going to do is, see these ones that I've got, the Alstroemeria, don't even know what that is meant to be said, but I am no good at pronouncing stuff. I'm going to open these, because I feel like now we've got like a little bit fuller and we're going to go towards the edges. I would like to start adding a little bit of this, because I think this will just add a little bit of greenery. So I'm going to measure this out roughly. I want this to kind of, so the bottom half, now the top half of the leaves I'm going to leave on because it adds a little bit of foliage at the top. Cut that at an angle, which I've done, and I'm going to add this going around the edges. So as you can see, just going round. This is such a simple thing to do, and like I said, because you've got the oasis, you can bring them up or pop them down a little bit further if need be. Just got to trim that a little bit more at an angle. And what I like to do is I like to do one side and then the other side, so then you get like a bit of, what's it called? Symmetry. So I've got 4 of these. So that's worked out quite nicely, because I'm just going to have one on each side of the box. So each flat of the box I want a flower. One of these. Keep trying to put these quite central to the oasis. And make sure that you're not putting too many stems in one area though, because otherwise they will, let's pick up a bit shorter. Otherwise they will start to die quicker because they've not got enough water. So make sure that you space them out evenly on the oasis. So now we've got one each side. I will push these down further, but I just wanted to be able to see where I'm putting them. Cut it on an angle again. Don't forget to cut them on their angles. Now, they're going to need pushing down a little bit more. Do you know what? And then the thing is with this, you can always adjust this. So that one, I actually think they need to go a bit shorter. So I'm going to pop them out and just trim them by about 1 inch and pop them back in. Their holes are already there, so I know exactly where they're going back. Pop them back in. Love doing these, and I think these are such a personal gift. Like if you want to make these even for Mother's Day or Easter, birthday presents, if you haven't got the money to go all out and go get a big massive bunch of flowers from the florist, you can literally go and get like a £2.50, £3 bunch from Asda or any supermarket, and then you just add these to a box. Boxes come between £1 and £2, £3 sorry I meant to say, but this one's £3 and look at the size of this. And now I'm going to start adding roses to kind of cover up the gaps now. Now these gaps, I'm going to go quite low so you can see all of the stuff that's going on in the background. Another thing that's nice to do as well, you could make, if anyone watched my clay tag tutorial, like clay decorations for Christmas, you could make a clay decoration heart and you could stamp their initial or their name or write a little message into it, and then tie a ribbon and sort of hang it round, or glue it to a big what are they called? Skewers, like wooden skewers, and pop that in so a little heart would be protruding out the top, or a stick. Just really lovely little ideas you can make for somebody. So now we're sort of filling up and it's just looking beautiful. And what I like to do is just to fill it up with the last bits of foliage. So the bits that I've cut down in the paper, like the rose leaves, they're kind of the bits that I will now add into this to make it more full, slightly around the edges. So I had 4 roses left over, so I've gone all around the sides again to make sure it's all full. So this will be the front of my box, and we need to fill it out a little bit. Now, like I said, you can move these. So that so many times you've got like, yes, Rosie, we know, you said. Now then you have these left, because you've cut them in the bunch out of the bag like that. Oh! I made you jump as well, but you're going to be left with some rose foliage. Now I like to cut that really deep down so that you don't see the little cut bit. So that will hide that. And we're going to cut these at an angle and pop these in, and then they just add the little bit of foliage around the edge. You can buy more foliage if you want to. I probably could have got away with buying a little bit more to pop in here, but nevertheless it doesn't really matter. You could spend another £1 more on getting some Jip, Baby's Breath, or whatever you like. But I just feel like you're not really going to see all this. This is more so to sort of tuck in the box so that you can see. Do you know what else is really nice? To get palm leaves and sort of tuck them and fold them around the sides. That looks really beautiful as well. I know a lot of people do that. And it just fills out any little gaps that you've got that you want to fill out. Need one around that side, and then I'm done. Oh, Mecherie, where are you? Where's my little stem, my rose stem? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Sorry, I knew you were somewhere, but I just lost you. You can. And they just add a little bit extra greenery to it. And then what you can do is you can add the lid. A lot of people sort of like go like that on the top, so like they look like they're open. I just think it looks quite nice with the lid on like that at the bottom. And then what you can do is get some really beautiful ribbon. Now I bought some ribbon. I don't know if this is particularly going to go now because I didn't plan on getting that colour box. But I bought this lovely linen look ribbon from the range for 99p, and I also got a thin one with red in the centre, and they look very old-fashioned, quite country luxe, really, really pretty. I'm thinking it would probably look a little bit better now with a different colour ribbon around it, like a big chunky ribbon. I was going to do a couple layers of ribbon, so I'm going to take the hat box off, get rid of that black so that you can't see that, and I'm going to cut my ribbon, and I'm going to double load it. So I'm going to get some more ribbon, cut that ribbon. Now this ribbon can obviously be saved. I'm going to go around with this ribbon. Oh. And tie it into a knot. And then we're going to add one of our fancy bows to this. So keep that like that. Get your red ribbon over the top. I'm going to layer it. And I'm going to cut these really fancy at the bottom on their little... I automatically go to tie a bow every time. And leave them looking like that. They look really mental, dangled down. And now what I'm going to do is one of my bows that I always make. So where you just get the material and you fold it back and forward like that. Tie it in a bow. Will it let me? Do you know what? I'm just going to tie a bow because I don't think where it's not wired it's going to work. Worked on my Christmas wreath, but it's not going to work here. I've got to trim that side. I should have got my fabric pointing scissors out. Cut over here as well. On an angle, it stops it from fraying. And then I'm going to put this in the front of the box. You can attach this with a little bit of florist wire, or you can attach it with a ribbon that's on it. You could tie. It's hard to see what I'm doing. And then cut all these pieces, and you could add, I got this for 99p from the range. You could paint this in pink, just a little wooden tag. And you can add a little heart to the front of this, tie it on. How beautiful does that look? A beautiful floral hat box, absolutely stunning. Once you've tied that on, I did bring in my little metal florist wire. I'm going to put that in the background so you can see it. I didn't bring down my metal florist wire. I'm going to keep running out every time. I'm so unorganised. I'm the only person that does YouTube that forgets to... But once that's tied on, that's going to look really cute. Let's just put it like that for now so you can kind of get what I'm saying. It would look really, really beautiful. So that's my little real one. Now for the fake one, this is only going to take minutes because it's fake. You haven't got to worry about breaking the flowers, crushing them as you're putting them down. You're going to put all this sort of florist stuff out of the way for a second. And we're going to get on to our fake foam. Now I'm quite lucky, I've already got one I was using on a hat box that I've done before. So I've got half of one left over. So I'm just going to use that. Now these are super easy as well. Oh. Now just to say, these were $4.99, so these actually cost more money, but these are fake. And I think 2 bunches or maybe one in there, but that will last forever. And you can mix fake with real as well. You don't have to do it like that. I prefer to do all fake or all real, if I'm honest. And I'm just going to cut this in half. It might make your teeth go on edge, that noise. And I'm just going to pop these in the bottom. Cut them down to size what they need to be. It's a little bit like playing Tetris, like I said before. You just fill in the gaps. Make sure to try and fill it in as best as you can. And I need a tiny little square down the edge. I need to cut that a bit more. And it's just to kind of like fill in the gaps the best that you can. You're going to have a few little lines. That weren't too bad for 2 seconds worth. I'm going to get this box and just put this here so that you can see. Now we can use the bunch of flowers that we got from Home Bargains. Now this was 25p from the pound shop and these were $1.99. So really this could cost you £2.24 to make this one. And we can undo our little ribbon that's on the front. You're going to need some pliers for these because these are normally metal wired ones. So you are going to need some pliers for these. Or you might, do you know what, because they're so flimsy, you might get away with having scissors on them. No, you need pliers. Do you know what, for this though, we can cut it and kind of bend them into shape. And then what you can do is just add your roses to this. They bend as well, so you can add these Oh, that's cute. Some of them are open and some of them are not open buds. And they still pop in. And just arrange them to look really pretty. Fold them to size. You're not going to see anyway. And it just makes a really cute little gift. Like if you've got this bunch, yeah, that's really nice, but then they're gonna have to put them in a vase or do something. But if you do it in a hat box, 25p from the pound shop, and they do a lot of boxes anyway at this time of year, cheaply. And you can just fill these up with roses. And they look beautiful. And you can go darker, you've just got to fill all this up, start adding and adding and adding to it. And it just will look really, really pretty. Go a little bit taller as you get further into the middle. Needs to be a bit taller. But these will last forever. So you could do these in a list of colours that you have as your decor anyway. So you could do them in creams or whites, you could use lilies, you could use any sort of ones that you want. You could add a little bit more foliage to this to make them look a little bit more, add a little bit of greenery to it. Like some of these eucalyptus stems, you could add some of these in there as well. They'd look really, really pretty. Obviously, if you cut these down to size, where are my pliers? Oh, come on, plier. My sharp pliers. That's when you know your pliers are blunt. When you try and cut them with pliers and it don't work, but it kind of half works with a pair of scissors. How can cutting something half work, or cut halfway through, I suppose? And you can add a few little bit of eucalyptuses, adding through as you go in, add more and more. And obviously I don't want this video to be ridiculously long, so I won't go on and on and on. But you can just add as much as you like, and you can create, obviously this isn't full, I've got to finish this. And you can just make the most beautiful floral hat boxes that look like something that would cost you a lot of money from a florist or a shop. And this one cost me £7 to make. Now that doesn't look like a £7 bunch that you could get from anywhere cheap. And this one cost me £2.48, is it? Yeah. No, £2.24. £2.24. So you can make these really cheap. You can add some ribbon around the front of that one as well, just to give it that little bit of pizzazz. Once it's finished, tie it up, would look really, really beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And the comments, thank you again for all the lovely comments. Really appreciate them. They're really lovely. And I'm bringing you tomorrow a home bargains haul. That'll be on its way as well. And I've also got Valentine's Day, oh, it's not for Valentine's Day. I've got some Valentine's Day gifts for kids and for a loved one. I've also got as well Valentine's decorations. So I've got a few videos coming up this week, so hopefully you'll stick around to enjoy it. And also Friday, join me if you want to see my try on again. And yeah, take care. Have a fantastic rest of your week. I've been Rosie Henshaw. See you later. Bye.